So at the moment, you've got regular clients, you've got good work coming in, you've got a good portfolio, and these are all things you need. You need a portfolio before you even think about taking it full time. No one's going to book you without any examples of work, but that's kind of obvious. So what do you do after that? Where do you kind of take it from there? Now, here's something to think about. When you go full time, and I did not do this, all right? So this is what I recommend. Before you go full time, it's important to think about what happens if nobody books. Now, I know there's being a pessimist and stuff that might, be considered a bad thing or whatever, but this isn't being pessimistic. This is being like realistic. If nobody books you in the next 6 months, what are you going to do? Some people watching this might have children, might have a wife, might have a mortgage, might have financial responsibilities that they are obligated to stick to. What are you going to do if nobody books you for the next 6 months and you've got nothing regular coming in, or all of your clients disappear? What are you going to do? Well, folks, here's what you're going to do. You've got to have at least, and this is absolute must, you've got to have at least 6 months worth of savings, monthly savings, before you go full time. It's super smart to have 6 months worth of expenditure just ready. And that might sound like a lot, like 6 months, but you can live on less than what you do at the moment. If you cut luxuries, you can live on quite a little. If you are about to go full time and you don't have like 6 months worth of rent, worth of bills, and you're going to jeopardize your family or something like that, that's not very smart if you haven't got a very secure business model. Basically, don't screw yourself over by not having enough pish posh in the bank, okay? And you never know, you might not ever need to have that, but having 6 months worth of money that you don't touch is really smart. Lovely. Alright, so you've got your 6 months worth of rent, you've got good regular clients, you've got good portfolio. Where do you go from there? Are you ready to go full time? I think we're getting there, definitely. Do you have a solid network of friends in the industry you can count on? I know for us personally, we take our networking really seriously, and we like to treat our customers as well as our friends in the business extremely well. That's a very good idea. If you're kind to people, they will remember that, and you shouldn't do it for your own benefit, but be kind just because you're supposed to be kind as a human. It's just beneficiary for everybody. Think about people more than you think about yourself, and you will benefit from that. Having a solid network before you go full time is really important. Another thing I guess you need to think about is, have you ever actually tried this full time? Working for yourself full time, turning up on your timetable sounds like the best thing ever, but have you ever actually given it a go where you are disciplined and you create your own timetable? Because I'm not gonna lie, some people, right, can't actually cope with that, and they kind of get distracted, they end up doing no work. Or the opposite, which happened to me, is that you just never stop working. You love it so much that you don't really know where the cutoff point is. Have you ever actually done it? Before you go full time, it might be a good shout to try it first. Maybe take a 6 weeks break from your job, 6 weeks holiday, and see if you can do it for 6 weeks and see how you feel. Because, dude, you might actually hate it. I'm being legit. The thing is, if you have never done it, how are you ever gonna know that you will love it? I remember when I first started, I really struggled, and it was really tough, and actually being your own boss is not everything it is weighed up to be. It's the best thing ever, rocking up on your own time and stuff. I can't criticize it, but are you ready for that? Are you disciplined enough? Or are you in control enough to know when to stop? To know that actually, no, I need to see my family now, or I need to see my friends, or I need to spend some social time, even if business isn't going that well. Because you have to see that as an investment into yourself. You can't skip having a break. I'm telling myself this as much as I'm telling you, by the way. It's something that's an ongoing practice, but have you ever done it? And are you ready for that? Is something to think about. All right, the last thing, right? And this is important, but probably the least important thing that you're going to think about when it comes to all of the points that we've made so far. Are you okay with your gear, like your camera gear? Because if you are about to go full time and you haven't got that much gear that could hold for another 2-3 years, and you're going to spend money on new gear, remember that that money that you're spending on gear should also be paying you too. And maybe you haven't thought about budgeting for that. I guess the point I'm making is, have you got all the stuff you need before you go full time? What I did when I was a freelancer and I was also working a full-time job is that I didn't take any money from the business for 2 years, so that I could buy all the gear I could ever want or need, hence all the gear I could ever want or need is here, and I didn't pay myself. Now some people think too short term and they buy gear and then they start paying themselves a lot of money instead of reinvesting that into gear. Now my advice is to get all the gear you would ever want or need, and really if you're a professional filmmaker or photographer, you should be spending quite a bit of money on gear because it's your job. So get all the stuff you could ever want or need, and then think about going full time and think about paying yourself as well. You know, it's probably not discussed that much, but you know, don't skimp out on gear. People say that gear's not that important, and yeah, to a degree, I understand what they're saying, but also gear is gonna like totally depict the quality of the work you put out to an extent. Don't get me wrong, if you suck, you suck. But you should think about gear before you go full time. What are your friends and family saying as well? Think about that. Have you spoke to your friends and family? Have you? Have you said, yo, I'm thinking about going full time as a filmmaker and as a photographer, or either or you know, musician or graphic designer, something creative. Have you spoken to your family? Have you spoken to your friends? Are they going to support you? Having that network is going to be crucial, because they are the people you're going to fall back on when you've had a rough day and you feel like everything's coming down to you. The difference between going full-time as a creative and being in a full-time position is that you are not employed by anyone other than yourself. Everything comes down to you at the end of the day, and that is an immense responsibility to think about and to have. And so, have you got that support network in place? Have you got friends and family that are going to be there for you when things aren't going that well? Or when things are going too well? Or when you're really busy? Or when you're really stressed? Or when you're really happy? Or you need friends and family in place before you go full time, okay? And get right with your friends and family. Oh, and clear all your debt, mush, alright? This is grim, alright? Do not go full time as a creative, alright? As a photographer or a videographer or anything creative. Do not go full time until you've cleared all your debt. I wish that I had done that. So don't do the same mistakes I did.
What up, gang? Hope you're all well. Welcome back to the vlogs. I hope you all enjoyed Reuben's video yesterday did for you. Yeah. Tell us what you thought of that. It looked pretty hoofing. Yeah. But yeah, so today we've got a few bits going on, haven't we, Rubes? Yeah. So yesterday had a bit of an interesting day. I went down to the old Mountbatten Hospice and basically spent the day with one of the nurses, following people around, you know, showcasing what these nurses do and all that good stuff. So basically we are making a documentary about the hospice in general, so that's one of the segments of it. But yeah, it was an interesting day. It's certainly not weddings and music videos, but it's definitely something that, you know, that's very interesting. Intrigues me. Yeah, I would say intrigues me, but it was interesting. Let's just say that. But yeah, before we go to chaos, we need to get a few bits done, and then we'll be on the road, baby. Alright.
What's your proposal?
I'll give you £10.
No, you said 50 quid.
That's a bit too much, because I know you'll do it now, because you've got the camera out.
Well, yeah. Right, basically, folks, one of these lights is so dodgy that it gave me a massive electric shock last time I turned it on, and I fell to the floor. And Chaz has said that he would pay 50 quid to watch me do it again, and now he's bottled it. When I said, all right, 50 quid in the bank, I'll do it.
Well,
now,
I reckon I'd honestly do it for 20 quid.
Nah, 25.
What? So when do you get the £25 if you die?
Before I do it. If I die, I'll sue you.
So I'm not doing it if you just touch it.
No, I'm going to set it up and turn it on.
I don't want to be, because it is dangerous. I don't want you to die.
You've bottled it.
Yeah, but I don't. Why I don't
Well,
want
we've
to
got
die?
to find out which one it is. That's bad.
Why don't you
Well, how are we going to find out? It is dangerous. We'll get Kev to do it.
Yeah. Right then, gang. So we, it's time to go. It's about 10 to 1.
Yeah.
And we're ready to go to Keith's Kev. Same. It's the same difference. Same difference.
Surely it's not up there.
It's definitely not there.
Nah. Oh, watch out.
Not easy as that.
Alright, well, the route is
That way.
good to see you. How you doing? You alright?
Yeah, it's all good.
Good stuff. Alright, folks. One of these lights is pretty dodgy. I mean, so dodgy it gave me a big electric shock last time, so we're gonna try one to see if it's, hashtag professional. Alright.
Now you got to touch it.
He's doing electrocute himself. Nice chance. So where are we?
We're at Kev's house.
Kev's house.
It's not actually Kev's house.
Chef Kev.
Chef Kev.
Chef, please.
He's got some lovely ambiance going on in here.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. The man, the myth, the legend. Kevlar. Alright, so if someone wanted this at their wedding, right, just so we can plug you, what would this be per head, roughly?
This would be about £35 a head.
No!
Yeah.
You are joking.
So been shooting for a little while now. Yeah, we love cooking food. We all love cooking food actually. Now we love filming food. It's always very interesting, always great fun, and lovely clients. They're always good to get along with. Yeah, check out the table that they're setting up for later. Let's go see what they're up to, bro. Here with the main man.
Alright, gang. Hope you're well. We're still here with Kevlar.
We got there, Kevlar.
Some
That's carrot.
Yeah, it's a giant carrot.
That's a really big carrot, Kev.
It's the old butternut squash.
That's it. Just going in the little heat. What's it called? A heat bath.
It's called a bar.
Hot tub.
Hot tub. Yeah, sous vide.
Okay, sous vide.
Yeah.
Delicious. Alright, Chaz. It's all over, isn't it, mate? Ah, there you go. Ah, what a day, eh?
Okay.
Alright, gang. Listen, so we're all finished here at Kevlar's gaff, filming Kev, the private chef. And what do you think? It was a good day?
Yeah, mate, it was a good day. It was a long day, I guess. It's like quarter to 11 now.
Yeah, quarter to 11.
But,
Started at 2, so it's been quite long.
But it was really good actually, really interesting, different sort of job. So excited to see how it comes out.
Yeah, and we've got loads of B-roll that hopefully has been included in the vlog. I'm at the hospice tomorrow with some more work. And gang, it's been a big day. This is what the life as a freelancer is all about. Doing jobs like this and working hard, and
Yeah, baby.
But we've eaten some awesome food today, so shout out to Kev. Right, that's us signing off. Anything you add, Chaz?
From me. See
Right.
you later.
Oh, remember to like and subscribe.
Okay.
Keep forgetting to tell people to do that.
Yeah.
And check out the links down below if you're keen to support us as a business. We really appreciate you.
Yeah.
And over and out. See you guys later.
Bye.